So, hi, I'm KB with Nerdophiles. How are you?
I'm really well, thanks, KB. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Oh my goodness, what a fun season. Now, I'm not done yet for season two, but I have seen the first three episodes, and what an incredible season. So, first, I have to ask, how does Bex find the balance this season between the three M's, motherhood, marriage, and murder mystery club?
Oh, good question. It's a balance that she's constantly juggling, to be honest. But since she has found the Marlow Murder Club, since she's found her relationship with the other women, I think her home life, or certainly her husband, definitely sees that she's happier and more satisfied. So he's really generous with letting her go off and do whatever she wants to do. Also, her kids are getting a bit older, so although they still very much need her and the whole family really relies on her holding it together, she does have a little more time than she had previously when they were a little younger. She's getting freer with every season. So she's balancing it well, but she still has to attend church every Sunday and wants to attend church every Sunday and be a pillar of that community. So she's busy for sure.
Yes, yes, for sure. And I'm so glad you mentioned the friendship because the friendship really is the core of the show, in my personal opinion. Yes, they are solving these murder mysteries, but they do need each other. So how do the cases actually enhance, the friendship between these three women this season? Because as we know, Susie's an empty nester, so she has plenty of time on her hands. You're juggling a lot, and Judith is just that mind is always working. So,
Yeah.
how do the cases enhance their friendship?
Well, I think what's so wonderful is that the cases bring these women together who otherwise might not have been friends. One of the things that attracted me to the project in the first place was the fact that there are women at the helm, three women, or four women with the police officers, Tanika too, and that these women are not in competition with each other. They're women who are working towards the same goal essentially, which is really nice. So often you see women all competing for the same thing, so that was nice. But also the friendships of the women, they're multi-generational, and it was really nice to read something where we have friends of different ages and that their age differences are not an obstacle to their friendship, because they are three women who really get on and enjoy hanging out, and between seasons their friendship has grown, and I think you can feel that in the writing. There's a familiarity with each other that wasn't there at the beginning. So it's really lovely to have those multi-generational female friendships as a cornerstone of being able to solve these cases.
And I'm so glad you mentioned Tanika as well because she really is kind of like the fourth unofficial member, but she really believes in them and the work that they're doing, and she really views them as assets. So, kind of this season, with their new, I'll call it like a new partnership with the police department. Is there an opportunity for Tanika to join more on the outside world, their friendship, their little club a little bit more?
There is a little bit of Tanika sort of opening her heart to them a little bit. Things
Yeah.
going on in Tanika's personal life outside of work that she's letting the women into in a way that she didn't before. But I do think it's an interesting line for Tanika, because there are times when the women do things that are outside the remit of what they should be doing. I mean, they're breaking into stuff, they're looking at documents they shouldn't be looking at, they're exploring things that the police would never be allowed to do. So she's always got that line between what the legality is of what the women are participating in, and they are just citizens. So they haven't got jobs to lose per se in this regard. They just want to get to the truth at any cost and use their positions in society to do that. So Tanika understands their value, as you rightly said, but I think she also, there's a bit of trepidation about how they access some of their information. A lot of the time she kind of doesn't want to know.
I mean, I think you're right. It's good for her not to know because you're right. Your character Bex, like she doesn't have anything to lose per se, right? Because it's not her job. But there's a lot riding on this for Tanika. And so,
Yeah,
if they do anything wrong and she's the one that allowed them access to someone's home when they shouldn't have, then it
exactly.
falls back on her for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, do you find that some of the most profound clues are really hiding in plain sight for some
Yeah.
of these cases?
That's exactly it. That's true, and that's what's really useful about these women's personalities. I mean, both, particularly Judith and Bex, both have a real eye for detail and a memory for the small things that end up being key puzzle pieces in the mysteries. So things that I think might have gone unnoticed by other people are noticed by Bex and Judith. And like you say, yeah, some of the clues are in plain sight, and that's what's so fun for the audience, is that then when the mystery is solved, they can look back and say, oh yeah, no, I spotted that too, and that was quite weird, or I no, I didn't see that, but now that they mention it, that is what it was, you know. And I think that's really fun, because you know, people make mistakes when doing these things. Even the most sophisticated of criminals and murderers in our show, they trip up somewhere, and the women are always going to be on top of what that is, looking
That
out
is
for it.
That's very true. So my last question really just is, which case this season was your favorite one to kind of bring to life?
Good question. Well, there's one mystery per every two episodes, so
Mhm,
we've got
mhm.
three mysteries to solve. And for me, my personal favorite was the second of the mysteries, which is set
Okay.
in Linnet Close. Um, I just found it a really intriguing story, and I found it actually the most relatable of the murders, if you can kind of say that. I don't want to give too much away because you say you're on episode three, um, but I really felt that that was the one that stayed with me after shooting, and I thought about it a bit more afterwards.
Mm.
So that's my favorite. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I mean, this series is such a delight. It's such a fun show. Like, I mean, they bring in elements of family and obviously faith and friendship. But at the crux of it, it really is, they get to the core of these murders in the most interesting and odd ways, which I absolutely love. So
Oh,
I can't
thank
wait.
you.
Yeah, I can't wait for audiences to see season two. And just thank you so much for chatting with Nerdophiles. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, KB. Lovely to chat to you too.
Thanks.